Welcome back to Midwest Esports Formula One. We're kicking off season 12 tonight in Division 1 at Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, one of the trickiest street circuits. And as Peter says in the comments, it is the worst season starter unless you love Carnage, which we do.
I mean, it might be the best season starter if you're looking at it from that aspect. You know, get the Carnage out of the way early where the points always matter, but this race, the points don't matter as much. So it, you know, I'm okay with this being the first race of the season. It's going to be a ton of fun, especially following whatever happened in Bahrain at the end of last season. It was 3 weeks ago, I believe.
I think so.
But yeah, so we end with some carnage. We're going to start with some carnage as well. It's going to be a fun time. We do have some new drivers, familiar faces, but new to D1 full time, and quite a few substitutions here tonight. So thank you very much for joining us back here at Nick and Mitch. Just at the top of tonight's show, if you have yet to subscribe, please do so, and you're going to get an awesome little F1 notification on screen when you do. So thank you very much. Please interrupt our stream. Tell your mom and dad to interrupt it as well. I think ours are watching from wherever they are. I was talking to my dad on the ride home today from work, and he's asking, oh, when are you getting back into it? I'm 30, bud. Let's rip it, let's go.
I reminded you this morning or yesterday morning. I was like, so for tomorrow, and you're like, wait.
It's like, oh, it's already time.
As soon as the offseason hit, I didn't look at the calendar again. I didn't know the draft happened. I just knew the race I did last week, and I was like, I should look to see if it's this week or next week.
Well, that's like the start of Drive to Survive, when Lando and Charles are like, yo, off season is great. I don't want to think about racing. I don't want to think about what I'm eating. I don't want to. We have 2 weeks to do that in between. And yeah, completely took advantage of these open Thursdays. And it was just a long enough off season to get me used to having Thursdays off, and then smacked me right back in the face. But we're happy to be here. The lights are on, cameras are on. It's time for some racing action. Let's head down to the track. Like Mitch said, we are in Jeddah Corniche Circuit in gorgeous Saudi Arabia. Nighttime qualifying is underway, and we are still in Formula One, the video game, F1 23. We will not be switching mid-season to F1 24, and I wasn't sure. I know we started racing ourselves. We started picking up sim racing right at the end of F1 22, at the start of 23. We haven't started. We weren't a part of MidWest at that point, but I wasn't aware how they would handle a new game coming out, and apparently seasons before this, when a new game is released, they just switch immediately to that game. So you purchase it day one and you're racing that week. But this time it's a little bit different. Season 12 is a bit different from the first 11 opening seasons of the league, where they're not going to switch. And the reason being is it's too glitchy in the first 2 to 4 weeks of the game. They need to iron out some bugs. So they've learned from their mistakes. They've learned from history that it's wise to let the game iron out, get that update 1.1 out before we start competing on the platform. So we will finish season 12 in F1 23. This will be the final season for this very buggy, very glitchy version of the Formula One series. Hopefully 24 is a bit better. I'm going to be honest, I have not seen what that game is bringing to change change the rhetoric, change the noise that we've been hearing around it this season. But hoping they have some good improvements.
I don't think they did a teaser, but they haven't shown. They did the teaser for the teaser of F1 24.
Okay, beautiful. So I'm caught
this week or last week. Should see some more soon.
Yeah, I am looking forward to it. I mean, there will be some changes, I'm sure. I'm sure some for the better, some for the worse. But we're going to just rock 23 for now. So whether you love it or hate it.
The old team names still in. So Alfa Romeo will stay for this whole season. AlphaTauri will stay for this whole season. Anyone else change?
That didn't. That was the whole point of why I brought that up, and I just completely ran down a rabbit hole. Yeah, those two teams are the only two that have changed. We have a Mercedes in the wall here. That looks like it's GSR Edwin, who has yet to set a lap. That is unfortunate. GSR Edwin may have some terminal damage. We'll have to see how their qualifying session shakes out after that quick bump. But if that's anything, as a precursor to what we're going to have here tonight, it's going to be a rough one, a little rough and tumble skirmish around Jeddah.
I don't know who was saying it during practice when I was watching the sessions earlier this morning. They said if more than 18 cars finish at Jeddah, it's a good race. That's a good thing, and that's in real life.
Yeah, honestly.
And last week, the opening to the real F1 series, that was the first opener where all 20 cars finished.
I saw that in history, the history of Formula One, the first race ever, which is just incredible. Did Logan Sargent re-enter the race last week? I saw that he was having issues. He either spun or hit the wall at one point. There was no awful damage. I mean, I guess he did. I guess he did finish. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they put all the cars out there.
Yeah, that's true. We have, is that Mackie up top in the Williams in first place? Mackie what's the end?
Mackie Marquis.
Mackie Marquis, thank you. It's just a little bit too small on my secondary parsec screen.
It's all right. He does lead qualifying so far with a 126.7. You have Scarenzi entering Sector 3. He was the driver's champion last season, just beating out Race Day, who has now switched to the McLaren. So this might be our favorite season just because we have the number 1 and 2 driver from last season racing in the Aston Martin and the McLaren.
Yeah, our two primary teams. Yeah, it does not suck. We're going to see a lot of Aston Martin McLaren battles here. We're sure of it. Race Day, as you said, had a very narrow gap to clinch second place and was in the running until a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a downfall because it wasn't a slip. It was a slip in the last, quarter of the season. Where Race Day fell behind, had some bad luck, and just wasn't able to be competitive with Scarenzi way up until the very end of it. But it was a wonderful, and there he goes, fastest across the line in the McLaren. Clearly, he's got that car dialed in.
Goes by 0.4 of a second, too, so just gets right up on top of the leaderboard. Scarenzi is out on another lap. We'll see if he completes this one or goes into the pits. We have 11 minutes left in qualifying, so plenty of time to whittle that time down, but he is 4 seconds slower, so I imagine he will be looking at the tire stop here.
And we do have a bit of a mix-up in the teams as well. Obviously, Race Day has left Ferrari to go to McLaren, and that leaves Lancey to move up from... Was Lancey racing last season full-time? Anyway, Lancey is now in the McLaren with Race Day, and in the other Ferrari is, can I read, the Plums, who is a last-minute addition, I believe, to AlphaTauri last year, following the racer who shall not be named, his, little whatever that was last season. But the Plums is currently racing for that Ferrari with Callie Robb. So with the team of Callie Robb and Race Day being split up, I just wonder how that's going to work with different team dynamics. I really don't know how well these folks know one another. Are you going to see that kind of teamwork that we saw last season with, just keeping people sandwiched, keeping folks where they needed to be, having a second car watching your six?
And looking at the leaderboards from last season, I don't see Lancey in Division 1 or Division 2 or 3. He may have been off for a season or under a different name. Some of the drivers that did move up, though, Mitch, we have Mac, who's in Haas, won Division 2 last season. Mitch Burns, who I believe is out tonight, but has the Division 1 seat. He was second, and then Travis Scott was third.
And we did see a lot of Travis Scotts. We saw a bit of Mitch Burns last season, and I think we might have seen 1 or 2 races with Mac. But yeah, all phenomenal drivers, especially Travis Scotts. Always fun to watch when he was up in D1, and now we get him full time. So happy to see him. It is Race Day. Mackie and Scarenzi in the top 3. Cynical in 4th place, no surprise there, but we do have Mac, the season Division 2 winner last season, in 5th place in that Haas, doing his best Nico Hulkenberg impersonation out there. 5th place in the season opener. Yeah,
Cynical last season too. He was with Aston Martin and Scarenzi, but now taking the Red Bull seat from Bacon. So this is maybe the 3rd different teammate in the 3 seasons for Sharia Coleslaw. I know they believe with the draft, one driver usually stays, and then it's an open draft from there.
Right.
So we do get to see a nice little mix-up. Be interesting to see how the teams progress throughout the season. And like this first race, I don't know if it'll be too telling just because it is the first one. It's a very tough circuit. But what I am hopeful for is that Haas can finish the race. I believe last season,
there was a Haas
maybe the first 3 races, they had double DNFs. They just were unlucky those first 2 for sure, 3 I believe.
Sorry, I Final Flame just set the fastest lap in a Haas to take first, but I believe Mac was spun out at least sideways on one of the runoffs there as you passed. So it was just funny for you to talk about how you hope to see them pass one that's sideways.
I think maybe you could tell I was reading the Drivers' Championship off my phone instead of watching the screen when I said that.
Ellie, thank you very much for clarifying in chat. Yeah, Lancey did take a break for a season, but I do remember Lancey was very fast. I believe Lancey had one of the Red Bull seats with Sharia 2 seasons ago when we entered Midwest, the Midwest League. So, yeah, it will be very interesting to see how these matchups progress. I don't see tonight being a big team effort. Tonight is probably going to be about preservation. And like you said, just getting across the line, finishing the race. Maybe we'll see some team battles. We'll have to see where people end up after qualifying. If we have 2 teammates side by side, that might be very telling, at least for the start of the season, as to how some of these partners are going to partner up. That's words.
I should try to go through the mega stat sheet that they sent us and see which team has the best, or at least the most wins, the most.
I would
places.
I would probably guess it's still Aston Martin, because Scarenzi celebrated his 100th and 101st lifetime win, not just in Midwest Formula One racing. That's just in Division 1 bouts. He has over 100, I believe, closer to 130 in Division 2, and the list goes on from there. So out of, I believe it was 159 total races that have ever been raced Midwest Division 1, 101 of those have seen Scarenzi on a podium. So absolutely commanding stats there for the last year's champion.
Yeah, at first I thought you said wins, and I wasn't going to doubt you.
Sorry.
Yes,
it's 50 something, right?
Podiums, 52 wins.
Yeah. That sheet is incredible, by the way.
I know, I need to sort it by...
I'm allergic to spreadsheets, so it did kind of like, I broke out in light hives when I opened that up, but holy cow.
One of these days I'm going to set up the data link to Power BI and then set up one of those dashboards, and you'll never hear from me again, because I will spend my days just evaluating that data.
Just plugged in like Neo in the Matrix.
We're on board. That, Microsoft HoloLens 2 and live in the data.
You still working with the HoloLens 2?
It's in my desk. I haven't used it in a while because it's still on Windows 10, and we don't have a lot of apps we can use on it, but it is cool.
Fair, yeah.
Can't say I haven't used it to pop a little F1 stream up on the wall where the rest of my coworkers can't see it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Apple Vision Pro we have a couple coworkers that have the new headset, and I remember seeing that one concept of what an F1 race could look like with an AR headset. I am like salivating, waiting for a little tabletop overhead 3D view in AR of what's going on in the track. Feel like God. Race day heading into the pits. Currently still provisional second place here in Q1 and only. Mackie has reclaimed pole position, provisional pole, from Final Flame AK. Another new driver sitting in one of the Haas cars this season. Not a new driver, but a new face to D1.
And we're just waiting for Visa Cash App VTech 87 PR1 to set his lap time and see where he stands in the Williams. His teammate is on top. Right now, he's on the bottom without a time, so hopefully he'll jump up a little bit there. It would be good to see Williams battling up for the Constructors' Cup once again.
Yeah, it would be very nice to see teammates Mackie Marquis and WS Visa Cash App VTech 8RPR1 somewhere in the mix there. Do want to wish Ellie a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Ellie. Like, I think one of the number one, if not the number one viewer of these races. So thank you very much for tuning in to the stream and always being active in chat. You make the time go by. So happy birthday. Hope the rest of the night is fun and hope Scarenzi places well so he's not all salty after this race. It'd be nice to have a smile on his face as well. You have like cake waiting after this, pie. I love apple pie for my birthday. I am not a big cake person, so I might be weird there, but you know, I don't know. Do you like cupcakes or something else? I don't know. You conventional cake guy on your birthday?
Is this are we back to me now?
Mitch. Hi, Mitch.
Hi.
When your birthday rolls around.
Cake's always good.
Yeah, what's your cake? What's the go-to?
Almond tort from Prantle's is very good.
Oh, look at you!
Chocolate cake, chocolate icing. I don't know. I'm not that picky. I know
I'm
there's
not
one
that
that I
picky.
like.
He opens with almond tort. Like a nice piece of almond tort.
Hey, it could be an almond tort cake, or it could be a like Betty Crocker chocolate box mix from the grocery store.
We didn't have a whisk, so we just punched it. It's always good to have some sprinkles on there.
Picking up an illegal blocking penalty from the game, a 5-place grid penalty, and he was in first.
That
love to see. This has happened maybe once before. I think. I don't want to say from the league rules. I think they just have to race it like that because it's too hard to like try and review that, right? Readjust the grid position, but.
Well, hey, we've seen him make up some time before, so that does not. Although that's a sour way to start the season, that may not be a death sentence for Mackie. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. Yeah, Ellie saying cherry pie. Yeah, I'm definitely a fruit pie fan over anything else. It's just, it's phenomenal.
I'm not, surprisingly. I mean, it's good, but it's not like my first to fifth choice.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like first through all of them choice for me. Pie is absolutely secondary to pretty much everything except like a rhubarb pie. Not big on the rhubarb. We get that a lot when we visit the family up in Wisconsin, and it's like, it's just a lot. I have lost visual.
Sorry, I am.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Just
want to make sure you have eyes on what's going on in the stream.
Trying to format the status so I can.
I'm literally staring at Parsec in a spreadsheet right now. We're just trying to get this thing formatted. We'll see.
I cannot find it. No, it's not you. We should get back to qualifying for these final couple seconds.
Qualifying has
final
ended.
Final another Haas.
Tui has ended. The Haas is in the wall. It's just a big old mess up in here.
So
top
we do
three
have
have crossed the line.
There's several drivers all going faster to the top. Got Palmer. Race day will finish in second, although I think Mackie Marquis was the one who had that penalty.
Yes. Yes. We'll have to see once all drivers have crossed. We will see the final standings. But it does look like Mackie will be finishing fifth, so slot him in down there behind GSR Edwin. It should look like race day got Palmer in final flame for the first three. GSR Edwin rounding out the first two lanes. That's a word.
It was very eloquent.
Yeah. Let's hope this intro goes a little better than that. Let's hope the game doesn't crash, so we only have to do the intro once this time.
Yes.
We'll see. We did not have a great batting average in Season 11. We'll see if tonight's just a wee bit better. It's not raining on the East Coast tonight, so that might help.
Yeah, you know what? That does help.
Yeah. Seems like fair weather, at least through the Midwest, down through the East Coast. So, fingers crossed, but the final drivers are crossing. It looks like that is our lineup for the start of Season 12, Midwest. Formula One Division 1. We're going to take a look at the final standings here in just a moment before we get the show on the road. And there we go. Okay, so yes, the head steward, Knuckles, has announced that we will have an official lobby restart due to incorrectly applied penalties on Mackie. So Mackie will retain that top spot, and we will reset, or we're all good. We'll see.
I believe.
Yeah, we're going to reset, huh?
Well, I believe they will, reset the lobby, but it won't be qualifying. It'll just go into the race, so timing should still work. You can go to us, though, while we figure that out. I think they are.
Let's hit it. We can talk more about our
I don't want to hit stuff. I don't want to cause any issues.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know how that goes.
Yeah.
We'll go here, and I'll try and keep my eye on it.
Yeah, but yeah, while we were talking about pies and all that, like I do love a good pie. My favorite cake, if I have to pick a cake, it would be a dead heat tie between carrot cake and a red velvet or like a devil's food cake, one of the red cakes. But it has to be mixed with vanilla ice cream, and you have to like smash it and make like that mixture, icing cake and ice cream all together.
You're getting kind of fancy with that.
Oh, yeah. Me literally punching my piece of cake into a bowl with ice cream. And your almond torts. Almond torts they're phenomenal. They really are.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
It's nothing.
They're great.
They are.
I'm going to figure out this data thing.
Okay, that's fine.
I do love, now that I think about it, like either like a turtle cake or something similar. Especially if it has a bit of a crunch somewhere in there too.
Yeah.
And not like a mysterious crunch, just a good crunch.
I was gonna say, do you equate that to growing up with like DQ and the ice cream cakes with the crunchies in there? Like the texture thing. Because every time I think about like crunches in a cake, it's great. You know, varying texture is always good in any dish. But every time I have cake with some crunchies, I always think about that layer of like perfect DQ ice cream crunch.
I don't know if it's that. I didn't have too much of the DQ cake, I think. Where'd your camera go? Oh, it's there. Never mind.
Yeah, it's here.
Oh, I should look for the invite. See what happens whenever stuff goes crazy.
I'm saying, man, like I have 2 shots of espresso running through me right now. I'm ready to go. Let's fight a bear. Let's call a race.
Trying to think, 4 teams. Screnzia does have the most wins by far overall. Yeah. And then Ryan Rod's Race Day, Lightwork, Fuse Rogue, Electric Blade, Edwin, T-Brum, Mackie, A-Dub, and Homer. So I think it's a good mix of like the teams.
And we do need to just like run through Scarenzi's his like CV here. He has started in 142 races. There have been a total of 159 overall races in the history of Division 1, Formula 1 Division 1 at Midwest Racing. 159 races. Scarenzi has been in 142 of those races. 52 of them have been wins outright, and 101 of them have been podiums. 124 have been top 5s, and 133 of those 142 have been top 10s. Scarenzi is the king Like he is goated, and the facts don't lie. So
I'm going to have to go back to that site that we used the one time, because I think you can link the data, because he's got like 5 Drivers' Championship, 5 Constructors' Cup. Just got to see the numbers stacked up to everyone else. I mean, the next closest, I think, is Ryan Rods and Race Day have 3 Drivers' Champions. Race Day also has 3 Constructors' Cups, so he's second closest, I would say.
absolutely.
And
again, the youngest
Electric
driver on the grid, at least last year. I'm not sure if anyone's going to beat him this year. But to have that kind of record that young too is just like, it's insane. Someone asked me the other day if we ever race with these guys. Like, oh, I know you broadcast the races, but like, do you ever jump in the car? And I full on belly laughed in their face. Like, oh, that's cute. Yeah, absolutely the F not. Get me away from this. I cannot hang with these guys.
trying to get us some advanced stats here.
I am watching you just rip through formulas like Nero in the Matrix. This is insane. We are still waiting for a reformation of the F1 Division 1 lobby following a incorrectly issued penalty from the game on Mackey. It was an egregious 5-place penalty during qualifying.
Thankfully, he will be back on top, because I know the game loves to hand out unwarranted blocking penalties in qualifying, especially in a league like this where you you pull over, move out of the way for certain drivers.
Right.
So there's already a lot of courtesy built into it, and then the game sometimes doesn't like to play nice with that.
Yeah. I heard that they're going to fix that in F1 24.
Did you?
That's just going to be what we say for everything. Yeah, there's a safety car incident. Someone's car exploded. Yeah, I heard they were going to fix that in F1 24.
They'll fix all of the problems here.
Yeah. We don't have a new intro this year, right? This season? We did not do a new...
I was gonna change the one logo, and then that version that I made had the Christmas F1 theme song from the holiday season. So I didn't have time to change the AlphaTauri logo, because the one we had last season, it was weird. It was like really stretched out. I used the newer one that fits the screen better.
Please, everyone, comment how awful this AlphaTauri logo looks once the intro plays. But we do have some new cool graphics coming up after the intro, and we're just going to let you see those as they roll out. Some of my favorite to look at, but yeah, not too much to talk about here.
We haven't. We have to think of some stuff, but this is the first season that we can use Gemini Advanced to come up with some content.
Right, you do have the advanced.
I do. It is better. It's better, more creative. What we love the PSSA or PSAs, right? Not the PSSAs.
The PSSAs. The standardized tests of Pennsylvania public schooling.
The PSAs that it was generating.
Yes.
So I'll have to give that the prompt and see what creative liberties it takes.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
The journey it takes us on. Maybe could have it make a F1 inspired birthday cake recipe.
Ooh! Ask Gemini to decorate a birthday cake with Formula One, and
I think it can do images too.
Oh my gosh! All right, well,
that's our project for today. Every safety car we will build on this.
Looks like the lobby may have been created.
Oh, it is created. I'm in it.
Beautiful.
We're still waiting for the countdown. That's when I usually start the intro stuff here.
Gotcha. Oh, race day kind of throwing some heat over to Scarenzi's way in the paddock chat. Scarenzi with a stinker of a quali coming from race day there.
I see you in third race day.
Them's his fighting words right there, race day.
All right.
Scarenzi is typing.
I cannot wait.
so interested in what this. All right.
Maybe he's typing his
It's a
see the
dissertation.
the sponsorship that Alonso put out for the new F1 circuit.
Yeah.
That was just like, I am personally so excited to race at this new world-class state-of-the-art track coming to Formula One.
Hey, I will say that track does look nice.
Oh, it does look so sweet.
It looks real nice. Yes, Renzi saying I had a 26.5 yesterday with no practice, then just nowhere today. Is what it is. This track is always hit or miss. Yeah, so.
You ready to start season 1 here?
I sure am. Wait, hold on. I had something written down for the throw. You ready?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, season 12 of Midwest eSports Formula 1 Division 1 on Nick and Mitch starts now. Welcome back. We are live tonight from Saudi Arabia for the opening race of Season 12 of Midwest eSports Formula 1 action. The atmosphere tonight is electric and the tension is thick. 11 seasons of fierce competition, heated rivalries, and unforgettable battles have us sat on the edge of our seat, and we're hungry for more. Jeddah is regarded as one of the most difficult tracks on the schedule, with a slew of high-speed straights pushing everything to the limit and a handful of technical corners where champions are made. One mistake here, and your whole race can unravel faster than a Ferrari pit strategy. Last season ended with a definite bang, and it was Scarenzi who broke a lifetime achievement of 100 Division 1 podium finishes before waltzing into the night with his fifth driver's title. But it's going to be another battle to the top this time around as race day looks to swap that silver for an elusive gold medal. Last season, though, he fought a hard fight and secured the constructors with his Ferrari teammate, Cali Robb. Now with race day moving to McLaren, we'll have to wait and see how he fares in the mix. Race day wasn't the only driver with an outfit change this offseason, with the points all reset to null and a few drivers bulking up in the gym tonight. Mitch has our race 1 driver lineup.
Yes, this season 12 of Midwest, we have seen some dramatic shifts in the drivers market. We have some young guns stepping up into legendary cockpits, while veterans seek redemption with fresh starts. So we have the drivers racing here tonight. Some of the substitutions are shown. Some key ones to note: Scarenzi returns to Aston Martin, looking to get that 6th Constructors Cup. But we do have race day, the drivers champion. Second runner-up to the drivers champion last season, moving teams to McLaren, joining Lancey, one of the legends in Midwest, returning to Division 1 racing after a little hiatus. So we will see who can take it home and see how these teammates work together on the track today.
Well, after an always brief off-season, we are thrilled to welcome you all back. Lights Out is next. This is Season 12 of Midwest eSports Formula 1 Division 1 on Nick and Mitch.
Plenty of time, too.
Yeah, I was very wordy. I was long, sorry. But we're here. We're excited, if you can't tell. It's going to be one hell of a season as we send off F123, just shoot it straight into the sun and never look back. But we're going to enjoy it for the rest of this season. I believe we got 15 races lined up before we can do so. And they are going to be 15 tough battles. This schedule is absolutely stacked. Before we run into today's formation lap, we're still waiting for a couple of players. Mitch, do you still have the Season 12 schedule on queue?
I do.
Look at this. Thank you, sir. I mean, Saudi Arabia followed by the Hungaroring and then Australia and the Netherlands. Those first 4 weeks are phenomenal. Japan is an absolute roller coaster. We do not have Monaco on here, and I do not believe we don't have Azerbaijan either. Baku is off of the schedule this season. So we do have France back. It's going to be a fun season. This is going to be a fun one for sure.
Yes, and if you're new here, they do follow the official race weekend. So real F1's in Saudi Arabia this weekend. The race is here. On the off weekends, like March 14th, they have sponsored races where drivers can sponsor that week and pick the track of their choice. So first one, we have Slayer Eyes picking the Hungaroring. We also have Slayer Eyes picking Netherlands and Qatar and Brazil. He is really filling out the schedule.
We love to see it, and we'll see what he can do there during his racing. As the drivers are getting ready in their formation lap, warming up the tires and getting ready to set themselves on the grid, we can take a look at the starting lineup one more time. Like we said, Mackey was assessed an improper five grid place penalty during qualifying that was reverted by the stewards here tonight. Thank you very much to our stewards. League Commissioner Pork Chops, Lancey and Knuckles. Wait a minute. That's not right. Lancey's racing this season. It might be Bacon? We'll see. Knuckles, definitely, though, our head D1 steward. So thank you very much to Knuckles, Pork Chops, and all of the other stewards and all of the other divisions and all of the other racing leagues who keep everything above board here at Midwest eSports. We appreciate the refs. We show them some love, too. So it doesn't look like we have any drivers, any teams paired up on the grid. So we may be in for a very selfish, just all-out brawl here in Jeddah, and I'm not opposed to it.
No, this one's a fun one to race. This is a great track, also very narrow walls. Saw Lance Stroll just clip one today, and normally people dunk on Lance Stroll whenever something happens, but all of the comments I saw on the Reddit post of his crash was like, I've hit that one so many times in F123. I always hit that corner.
Yeah, just let the kid go on this one.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, here we go. Season 12 is underway. Lights are out, and we have cars running on the track. It is Mac and Cynical fighting back and forth. Final Flame is able to get up into the top three past God Palmer and GSR Edwin. GSR Edwin now getting past Callie Robb back up into fifth place. There is so much movement in the first couple of turns. It is absolute chaos through the middle of the pack. GSR Edwin and Callie Robb now swapping places through the chicanes. We have a caution flag. Are there any cars spun? There is! A Red Bull of Sharia Coleslaw has done a complete 360. But it doesn't look like he has any damage. He will return to racing. He may be able to rejoin the pack further along during tonight's bout, as there will definitely be more safety incidents along the way. Race day now trying to break away from the pack. Final Flame and Gott Palmer sticking close behind, waiting for DRS to activate. Race day trying to keep it clean and make up some of that space. Now more than a second behind Mackey. He just got out like an absolute banshee from the start. Will Final Flame try the inside line to get past Race Day? He attempts, but Race Day closes him out. He's going to have to try a little harder than that. What an opening first lap of Season 12. This is any inkling as to what the rest of the season will look like. We are in for an absolute treat. Here we go. Final Flame on the outside, getting past Race Day. It is into the final straight, close to the final straight of lap one. Race Day not able to hold on to second place through the first lap. It is Final Flame, and Gott Palmer also getting by the newly minted McLaren driver.
That was such a long stretch of announcing for you. That was impeccable for lap one of season 12. Race Day has now dropped down into fourth. Gott Palmer and Final Flame getting past him, but he is right on Gott Palmer's heels. Sprenzy still in ninth, so Race Day calling him out on his qualifying. He's safe for now.
It's that go-go juice, baby. That's the double espresso talking.
Now we do have the tires up from the drivers. Final Flame is on medium. Otherwise, 1 through 5 are on soft tires, 6 through 15 are on medium, and then 16 through 20 are on hard tires, except for Sharia Coleslaw, who has gone, or is on softs but spun out. So pretty even spread based on the tire choice.
Yeah, I missed where Sharia was in the starting grid. He was top 10 or close?
He would have been 10th, it looks like.
He would have been 10th. Okay.
Dropped 9 spots from his spin on track.
Yes.
Final Flames jumped up 2, so he swapped with Race Day. Cali Robb in the Ferrari jumping up 3 spots in the start.
That makes sense for Sharia to have softs on as he was in the front of the pack. With the rest on the road. We'll see how that strategy plays out for Sharia. You know, sometimes you can't pick the cards that are dealt, so see if the Red Bull can bounce back there. But what a wonderful opening lap from Gott Palmer and Final Flame, both of them moving up significantly through the front of the grid. On Race Day, now back in 4th place, is very uncharacteristic, but it's a new car. Not sure if he's running any new setups. I know we're on equal performance here. But yeah, we'll have to see. As Final Flame goes wide, Race Day gets through. Doesn't look like there was any contact. Final Flame is going to re-enter in 6th. Was that just a big error from the new driver, the new D1 seat? Or was there an incident that we missed? We'll have to see following today's race. We got 25 laps ahead of us, well, 22 now, which will leave plenty of time for more shenanigans. Well, here we go. We have our first driver pairing out there. Teammates in 6th and 7th. It is the Haas duo. Got a bit of a gap between them, but we'll see if there's any sort of strategy here that could play out towards the back of the front half of the grid.
Yes, and we're getting DRS active for all of these drivers. Final Flame taking advantage and jumping over GSR Edwin in the Mercedes. Getting closer on the final corner, but Edwin's able to hold on to that spot. Also looks like the Plums has jumped Scavney, or maybe Scavney has an issue. Nope.
Houdini's up past Scavney now.
And look at these cars going 4 wide. That's not going to be good for the Plums, the lead of the Ferrari, as 3 drivers behind them will have DRS down the straight.
Scarenzi and Cynical going back and forth there for 8th place through the chicane section in Sector 2. Cynical, who retains his position. GSR Caesar, looking like he's having some issues. It may be a DNF. There is a Mercedes stopped on the side of the track. Looks like a disconnection issue. So he may be able to rejoin. It's not a death sentence yet. We're going to wait and see how that one plays out. But we do have a virtual safety car on track since there is a stopped vehicle on one of the runoffs. This will give some leeway to some of the drivers who struggled for their intervals. Going to get them all back together here, possibly before we resume racing. Drive-through penalty issued to Cynical for speeding under virtual safety car. Back under green
now too, so the drivers will be back to racing.
Back under green, and Scarenzi gets by Cynical. Cynical now dropping Lancy in the McLaren is getting up past the Red Bull, who was just issued that penalty. Down in 12th place in the Alpine, Chuck Blazin. That is Fireballer 20. If you were wondering who is who out here, we do have some different names. We had a bit of a panic attack when we saw Chuck Blazin load into the lobby before tonight. Mitch was, who is that? Who is that? Who is that?
Who changed Fireball. Their name?
Who did
after
this?
I changed the graphic?
We have some cars dumping into the pits pretty early in today's race, but they're getting rid of those soft tires. Does make sense. They'll likely swap for, what do you think, mediums? Do you think anyone's going to try and push mediums for 20?
I don't know if you could push either tire, like medium or hard, yeah. So they'd maybe go in medium, or medium soft. See how far you take the mediums.
That was a very early pit stop.
Scavney might also be serving his, if he can, his, it looks like his drive-through.
Yeah, you're right. And I believe Cynical was doing that as well. So, okay, never mind. We are back underway. Our top 3 looking like Mackey, Gott Palmer, and Race Day. Final Flame not far behind, but a little too far back for DRS. GSR Edwin, though, had that wing wide open as he ripped past Callie Rob's Ferrari. And Scarenzi slowly making his way past the D2 champion. Both of them now looking at each other on the grid, sharing a brief moment in 7th and 8th as Scarenzi slowly climbs the grid. GSR Edwin also moving up past Final Flame into 4th as Gunner moves up past the other Ferrari down for 14th. The Plums and Gunner now going head to head. It's the Plums who came out of that one. I do love that chicane section.
Ooh, we have another virtual safety car for now.
Looks like Final Flame has retired from the session as well. Again, not sure if that was a connection issue or what, but Final Flame, who was on the front grid fighting for a podium position here early in the first 6 laps of this race, may have an early end to his Season 12 debut in that Haas.
This looks like it was in these tricky corners. Is that the one? People like to kiss the left a little too hard.
Yes. Yep.
I think it might have happened again.
Yep, it does sound like that was an issue. Final Flame saying in paddock chat, "I hate this track with a passion." Oh my God. So unfortunate there for the Haas. There's one. We'll see if the second Haas can finish today's race. It is Mac. So if anyone can do it, it definitely would be Mac. But
we have a full safety car out on track now.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Debris. It's time for our favorite segment of any safety car. Sorry, Ellie. I know the birthday wish just did not come through. Blame Christian.
Honestly, this sounds pretty good.
Ooh, okay, so we do have Ellie. This is Ellie's birthday cake, right?
Yes.
Yes.
This
okay.
is a F1 inspired cake recipe from Gemini Advanced, one of our favorite AIs. It is the Podium Finish, a triple layer F1 cake.
I love the name already.
Get ready to celebrate the champions, or Ellie, with this exciting cake featuring 3 delicious flavors that represent the top 3 finishers on the podium. The base layer is the checkered flag cake base, which is a vanilla cake. There is... Do you have the other layers? Okay, it does have the other layers.
Good, good.
So a vanilla base.
Tease me like that.
And then you have the checkered flag frosting, which is just a standard frosting.
You're gonna frost a checkered flag. You're not gonna do fondant. Okay.
No. This is just between layer 1 and layer 2.
Okay.
This is just like, it's called the checkered flag frosting.
I see. Sorry.
Layer 2 is a champagne spray layer cake, so a lemon cake mix. And then a champagne bubbles frosting, which has a bit of champagne in it. So the first layer is a vanilla cake, vanilla frosting. The second layer is a lemon cake, champagne flavored frosting.
Sounds so good.
And then the third layer, the winner's pit stop layer, is chocolate cake with, and then the top is white fondant and white and black fondant for the checkered flag on top.
Bruv, this was a computer who has never tasted a cake in its
I'm
life.
to make this.
It came out with a lemon champagne middle layer. That alone, like, that's up my alley. If I'm going cake,
I almost don't know about the chocolate at that point.
No, get the chocolate out of here. 100%. Give me all lemon. Give me champagne. That light bubbly, going back to fruit. Oh, I want a piece of cake. Katie, do we have cake? I'm hearing from my team principal, we do not have cake.
I know what I'm making this weekend. I'd be curious to see. I mean, it seems like it's fairly accurate, the recipe. Sometimes the proportions get off, but...
Did it actually give you a recipe to make this? Like, it's not just a description?
No, the checkered flag base is a box of vanilla cake mix, a half cup milk with a splash of red food coloring, 4th cup veggie oil, 2 large eggs.
Whoa!
I think it is just like, it's what's on the back of most
That's a
box
pretty
cakes.
Basic. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's
but I mean,
mostly basic stuff.
Did it tell you how to do the middle layer?
In the middle there, that one is important, isn't it?
Champagne and the lemon, and the only one
Lemon
that really
cake
matters.
mix, half cup milk, veggie oil, large eggs, lemon juice. Let's go to the
Champagne.
instructions. That step is called the champagne spray lap in the recipe.
Okay.
Mix the lemon cake batter according to package instructions, or use your favorite recipe. Add the lemon juice, pour lemon batter. Where's the champagne?
Is it just a lie?
Oh, that's the frosting.
Oh, okay.
think.
That also makes some sense. A little bubbly.
Yeah, so the champagne
Little
spray
pop
layer is a
rock in
lemon cake with a champagne frosting, which is butter, sugar, champagne, vanilla. The champagne bubbles pit stop is the frosting step. So you just make a frosting, but you substitute the milk with champagne.
Yep. Done. Done. Absolutely done. Stick a fork in me. I'm done.
See, but they have different consistencies. I don't know if champagne mixes like that.
Ah, you got only one way to find out.
I guess.
We are still under safety car here in Saudi Arabia. It's the Jeddah Corniche Circuit, Season 12, Race 1 of Formula 1 Division 1 here at MidWest Racing. Safety cars in this lap, and we do have both Williams stacked 1 and 2. It is WS Visa Cash App VTEC 87PR1 in the lead of the race. Lap 8 and Visa Cash App VTEC 81PR1 will lead the Jeddah Grand Prix.
Now, Visa
Saudi
did stay out. The only driver, it looks like, Scavney
Wait,
and
I'm sorry,
Sui had just
who?
stopped.
I'm sorry, who? Stayed out?
Visa Cash App VTEC 87PR1.
Oh, right. Yeah. Visa Cash App VTEC 87PR1. Okay.
And he's now 8 laps on the medium tires. So, interesting strategy. When we see this, I think they tend to hope that another safety car happens soon,
Yes.
right? Because
Yeah, that's going to be the thought, because then it makes no sense for anybody else to go into the pits.
Yeah.
It'll give him time. Yeah. So.
yeah, he could come out in the back of the pack, but still have a pit stop advantage
Correct.
if that happens. I didn't catch
Right,
where
yeah,
he was in the beginning of the race. But
Lost in the
up
hard.
11, so he would have been 12th. Yeah. It's usually
okay.
not always the case, but someone mid to the rear of the pack. It's something good to try, because if you're in the middle of the end of the pack, you're probably going to finish mid at the end of the pack. And we have
spins.
several big shooters out.
Well, it looked like Race Day got in between the Williams, then dropped back and was fighting with GSR Edwin and a few others. Cali Robb is out of this race. He was in the mix somewhere. Race Day is somewhere in the middle of the pack. Sharia Coleslaw dropping down once again. It's an absolute yard sale, and we have a safety car.
We were just saying that this could play out for WS Visa Cash App VTEC 87 PR1, and he has a safety car just 1 lap after everyone went into the pits.
Cali Robb posting that meme of the kid with the bowl haircut and the yellow shirt just kind of staring into the camera like Jim from The Office. That's the emotion. That's exactly the emotion. Yeah, you know, one tiny little discrepancy in the pack can result in someone like five or six cars behind the incident paying the price, which is how tight some of these bottlenecks are. So we now have a brand new grid, a brand new order. Mackey gets back up into first place. He is in pole position right now. Scarenzi, you may know that name in the Aston Martin. Well, he's in second place right now, getting ready to hunt down Mackey's William. And in third place is not Mackey, it's just Mac. A little more grown up, a little more mature than our first place. And he is in the Haas in third place. So right now, as it stands, that is just an insane grid from constructors alone. But no surprise that those drivers, those names, are where they stand. We'll see what Race Day can do now. One of the front runners, one of the contenders already for the Drivers' Championship this year, but his McLaren is doing a McLaren. He is now back in 16th Only 10 laps into this race, not even at the halfway point of race 1. And we have 3 cars out indefinitely from this race. Sounds like Visa Cash App VTech 81 PR1 is getting blamed from some of these drivers for that incident. Race day, the main caller there saying, what were you doing there? Visa Cash App VTech 81 PR1. And Callie Robb also chiming in. I don't know what either of y'all were doing there, but what an absolute joke. So no one happy there in the tight corners of Jeddah Corniche circuit. But we may have some stewards, some homework for the stewards here. Sounds like there will be some submissions following today's race. In reference to WS Visa Cash App VTech 81 PR1. 7 p.m. All right, I'm done. That was a fun bit.
You got through all of that?
Yeah. Got it out of my system.
There you go. You're the fun bit guy.
I will carry a bit to its grave and kiss it on the head before I throw dirt on it. So.
Okay, I did ask it for some PSAs.
Okay, good.
I'll give you an option. I also asked it to come up with a funny Midwest-themed Formula One track.
Formula One track. How are you going to talk through that?
What do you mean?
I'm curious. Like, is he going to take us turn by turn? Let's hear that one. Let's hear what the Midwest Formula One track would look like.
The track name is the Cornfield Grand Prix.
Good.
It's located somewhere in the Great Flat Expanse of Iowa or Nebraska. The exact town is constantly under debate due to fierce local rivalries.
Fair.
Track layout includes the combine harvester chicane, a slow lumbering chicane that drivers must carefully navigate around several parked combine harvesters. The tailgating straight, which is a long, straight section of track where the passing is only allowed if you politely wave and flash your headlights. Aggressive driving may result in passive-aggressive casserole delivery to your pit crew.
Good.
The tractor tire carousel, which is a wide sweeping curve made entirely of stacked tractor tires. The flyover zone, which is a designated period where a swarm of low-flying geese disrupts the race.
Okay.
Potluck pit stop, which is instead of lightning-fast tire changes, teams are subjected to 10-minute mandatory potluck break. Winning teams are judged on the ability to make a decent hot dish. Thank goodness we are back under green flag.
Most of that was just eating and dairy products. Here's a casserole. Here's a casserole. Here's a hot dish. And if you don't know the difference, you're not truly from the Midwest, okay? Hot dishes and casseroles, two completely different things.
I must say, it also says the victory celebration, instead of champagne, they are showered with sweet corn kernels and presented with an oversized butter sculpture of their car.
I would have just went for straight whole milk.
Ooh.
Just like Indy.
They have to be a part of the new Got Milk campaign.
Yeah, honestly.
We have another caution flag. It's like Lancey is getting back on track, but the car seems to be okay. Meanwhile, race day wasting no time getting past WS Visa Cash App VTech 87 PR1. Move up into 14th.
Looks like Got Palmer. Ooh, Got Palmer getting a 5-second penalty for ignoring a yellow flag. That is unfortunate there. Race day looking to make a move on the Alpine on the inside. He does so, gets by up into 13th place. GSR Edwin also advancing into 8th. Race day, blink and you miss it. He's up into 12th, past Scavney and Visa as well.
It's wasting no time just moving up this grid. It's kind of scary, like a Max Verstappen just chewing his way back through.
It's absolutely terrifying. Scavney now dropping back into 15th as Fireballer and VTech both get by. VTech not far behind race day. Definitely within DRS attack. So will we see a repeat. These two drivers clearly heated with one another right now. Will we see something get a little chippy? I would not put it past VTech to make a little cheeky move here. Try once again getting by Race Day. The question is, will Race Day maintain composure and allow that to happen? You might get a little chippy for the battle for 12th. Here we go. Trying to get by him, but the McLaren jukes him out. Ooh. We have a wing. It looked like a front wing flying off of somebody's car. No safety car yet, so it may have cleared the track, but is that
might be Gunner? He is slipping down a bit.
Yeah, it looked like he was losing a bit on these turns. Yeah, the left especially.
The GSR is also off track, and so is Cynical. Ooh. And more mixed up.
And there's the caution. We have another caution flag. I believe we've had 3 cautions already within the span of 3 laps. But we are back underway. Drivers were able to sort themselves out.
Tough thing on this track, too, if you do lose a part of a wing or something that really disrupts the handling of the car, it's not easy to get back to pit lane because it is fast and it is constantly winding. So sometimes they'll see a little bit of a mix-up happen, parts come off, race resumes, and then someone just sends it into a wall because they don't have the downforce they're expecting.
Right.
And Scavney has retired from the session, so he must have had terminal damage, bringing us a virtual safety car. Well, I think I said early that the real F1 commentator said if you finish Jeddah with 18 cars or more, it's a good one. So far, we're down to 16.
Yeah, and there's another safety car as Scavney is leaving this session.
What do I ask it this time?
Oh, no.
Let's ask it for another F1
okay.
pit.
Okay, here we go. Can we have it generate brand names much like the Visa Cash app? Absolute monstrosity of a name, the Kick Sauber whatever Formula One team. Can we have it formulate some insane like corporate sponsored F1 brands, F1 teams?
Sure.
You know, give it the example of Visa Cash app. Yeah.
Okay. Hope you're ready to buckle into your seat.
Oh, I'm ready.
Wow, the thing is, I've seen the generator online, which does just legitimately like randomly mash companies, and it you can tell. The first one is Blockchain Synergy Solutions Mach 5 Racing.
That's exactly what I wanted.
Second is Global Sustainability Initiative EcoBoost Enterprises. Third is Metaverse Unlimited Hypervelocity Motorsports. Their pit strategy is determined by a complex online algorithm nobody understands. Sounds like Ferrari.
This makes me so happy. Just the insanity of corporate naming.
Multi-platform engagement dynamics racing team.
Yes!
Integrated logistics optimization and performance solutions. Premium Bespoke Motorsport Experiences LLC.
Bespoke. Oh my God.
And Autonomous Artificial Intelligence Racing Collective.
Yes. Oh, beautiful. I hate that is the foreseeable future for the sport, but my God, is it funny to look at right now. I think one of my F1 fantasy names was like Disney Applebee's Racing Team or something like that. Like, absolutely unhinged.
I asked it to do company ones. And it did things like the Netflix original series Binge Watch Racing. So I said to combine a few companies because. Okay, it's starting to get a little off here. We have Tesla X SpaceX Hyperloop Racing.
It's starting? Tesla SpaceX Hyperloop Racing, is that what you just said?
Yep.
Tesla Starlink SpaceX Hyperloop Racing.
Apple X Nike Innovation Design.
Yeah. Good.
Disney Pixar Emotional Storytelling Motorsports.
Okay.
And the Lego Home Depot Ultimate Customization Racing.
I love that. I love that as the name for a track, like a Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Like the Lego, what was it?
Lego Home Depot. Ultimate Customization Racing.
Ultimate Customization Grand Prix. Where the fans decide how the track changes. It's a dynamic track, so you can pick from one of three. And it just routes the drivers.
There's a kid at one of the points in the track with one of those like train track switching levers.
Yeah, right. Little engineer hat. We have Sharia Coleslaw chiming in to Paddock Chat. Apologized to Houdini for collision. He missed braking a bit and then couldn't get the car slowed down once he pulled out of the slip. He really hopes that Houdini didn't get any damage out of that. So seeing some chivalry there from the Red Bull garage for Houdini. Maybe that was the piece that we saw flying off.
It could have been.
It was probably Scabby. Yeah, sorry. There's really not a ton to talk about, like, league-wise, because nothing's happened yet in Season 12. Do we have any sponsors from Gemini tonight? Sponsored ad reads.
I just spelled that very poorly, so we'll see if it interpreted it correctly.
Good.
Based on the way I was spelling some names earlier.
Typing with your elbows.
All right. Hang on tight. It even included my spelling mistake, which was TL Race Fans.
Safety car in this lap.
Oh, man. Hang on tight, TL Race Fans. This heart-pounding, adrenaline-fueled, insert catchy adjective here race is brought to you by Lint-Lock Extreme. That's right. Lint-Lock Extreme, the fabric softener that tackles all your unwanted fuzz, no matter how fast life goes.
It's a Formula One ad for Lint.
I can't even... Got a mysterious white sock clinging to your favorite racing shirt? Lint-Lock Extreme. Pet hair embedded into your helmet lining? Consider it gone with Lint-Lock Extreme. Random bits of confetti and tire debris in your couch cushions from a wild race weekend? You guessed it. Lint-Lock Extreme to the rescue. Remember?
Hi, folks. Phil Swift here with Lint-Lock Extreme.
Just like those drivers can't afford a single loose thread, you need the unshakable hold of Lint-Lock Extreme. Victory is in the details, folks.
Lint-Lock Extreme. Get linty with it. Hell yeah.
We're making commercials next, right?
Oh, 110% we have to produce commercials. Dude,
we have another caution flag.
Well, GSR Edwin has also retired from this session, and Sharia Coleslaw is out as the Red Bull is dead in the water. Back in the pack, Sui passing him. Okay, we have two more cars that have been eliminated from tonight's race, and it looks like we are back underway racing. That may have been a connection issue with the Red Bull, because there's no way they cleared that car in time.
I think at some point
the game just quits.
Yeah, I think we've seen this before, where after 3 or 4 safety cars, the game is just like, let's just sweep these cars off and keep going.
It's an homage to Elf Bowling on the original Windows XP system. Just wipes him off. All right, next frame. Lint Lock Extreme.
Came up with a better one.
Please save that one. Mackey goes quickest in the Williams with 1:28.6, beating his 2 previous fastest laps. Mackey on an absolute tear here in the opening race of season 12. Race day was once in the back of the pack, now fighting with Houdini for position in the top 5. We have another caution flag. As, oh no, it looks like the Williams of Mackey may be out of today's race. Pole position has been leading for the majority of the opening race in Saudi Arabia. Mackey and the Williams will not finish here in race 1. It's Scarenzi in first place with just a handful of laps to go. The Plums Ferrari in second and Max Haas in third. Race day now moving up into 4th place. What an absolute stack and what a downfall for the Williams.
Just a crushing blow to a guy who has led this substantially for most of the race. He just wasn't even that. Racers weren't close to overtaking him for most of it. Now he is out. His teammate VTech is down in 12th. And we have 7 laps to go with only 13 drivers.
As commanding of a lead as it gets, he had a 1.5 second lead off of the first lap. And Mackey is just absolutely going off. Man, a few words here. Nice game the Codys have made here. It's not great. Mackey not happy, but taking defeat with a smile. What a commanding race for the Williams, just gone in an instant due to the game. We'll have to see what the cause was there. It definitely was not impact.
No, he was just, I don't know if it disconnected for him, but he was kind of straight into the wall.
Oh, okay.
Like that wall, it looks like, where, like, and he,
brutal.
Because of a screen freeze, yeah. So that's what it looked like, because there's no way he could have, like, been turning and ended up that way. He just was going straight and then kept going straight into a wall.
Jeez, oh man. We are in for it. What did we say? 14 more races in F123 before we hopefully switch to a better game in 24.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will. Got Palmer. I saw that moving up past Houdini's Alpha. And the Alpine now taking 5th place. Race day still holding in 4th. I spoke too soon. Getting by the Plums in his old car. Claim 3rd place for the McLaren. It is now Scarenzi, Mack, and Race Day. All champions or runners-up from last season in the top 3.
Absolutely crazy. Life finds a way sometimes, doesn't it?
Life finds a way.
It'll be interesting. We have Race Day closing in on Mack, but Mack is 3.5 seconds behind Scarenzi with 5 laps to go. Now, Race Day could close that gap. We've seen him do it before. I remember one incredible race where he got, was it this track? He got messed up by an ill-timed pit stop where, like, people didn't, like, no one else did. I feel like it was.
Was it here or Baku? It was definitely a street circuit. I do remember that, though. Race day made up like 11 spots. 11 spots.
It's like the harder left into the pit.
Yeah.
And then, and I think if Scarenzi was the leader, he had a 5-second or a 3-second penalty. And like Race Day was like 5.1 seconds behind at the end of the race.
Yes. Was that the race where the safety car and he was the only one that didn't go in?
He may have been, yes.
I think that was it. When everybody else pitted, but Race Day
was that. That's what happened.
Came in late, was in the back of the pack, and literally clawed his way back up into a podium spot. It's unreal. The Plums taking a shot at the McLaren. He gets past him now. These two are going to be in a DRS battle for the next 4 laps. That interval is going to stay very tight between the two drivers. We'll see if they can kind of leapfrog their way up to Mac here for at least a second place finish. But as it stands right now, Scarenzi sitting pretty in first. The Division 1 Drivers Champion from Season 11 has reclaimed his spot at the top here in the back part of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's going to be one heck of a season. I know you can't glean too much off of today's race. This is just it's a fireworks start to the season, right? It's like shot out of a cannon. Tons of safety cars, not a ton of strategy, just kind of get through this race and see where you end up. But if it's any inkling, I mean, look at these front runners, absolute legends. The entire pack is just absolutely stacked with legends right now. So it's going to be one fun season ahead. I cannot wait to get to some more forgiving tracks to really see these guys battle it out. Can't wait to see Mac, Race Day, the Plums, all of those three, just absolute bare-knuckle brawl in scrums like this. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and
it is fun.
Always fun. We had Mackie Marquis and Callie Robb both very close to the top at the beginning of the race.
Well, the Plums gets by Mac in the Haas under DRS. Scott Palmer gets by Race Day, pushing him down into 5th. But it's the Plums in Race Day's old Ferrari that is now in 2nd place with 3 laps to go. Can he find the speed somewhere to make up almost 3.5 seconds to catch Scarenzi? He is on mediums. Scarenzi's rocking the softs, so he may have an advantage if he pushes harder. He definitely has more grip to what am I talking about? He can push his tires harder for longer.
There's more life left in those tires.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just matters if, or depends on if Scarenzi also has life in him, if he has 3 more laps of his current pace, because the Plums or whoever has been in second hasn't really closed that 3.5 second gap.
Oh, almost 4 at this point. So yeah, I mean, even if Scarenzi does experience a bit of a dag, it's not going to be too much. Look at this pack, little 3-way action going on. Got Palmer now getting by the Haas up into 3rd place. Got Palmer has I believe it was a 5-second penalty for speeding under yellow. So that will affect the Alpine's final spot. He's definitely going to try and get up 3 seconds. Apologies. Going to try and get up as far as possible. That would put him still in the top 6. Got Palmer now up into 2nd place. I've seen this before. Got Palmer, definitely a sleeper in this pack. We have a bunch of champions, a bunch of runners up. But Got Palmer, one of the most consistent drivers on the grid last season and every season. Definitely should not be counted out in that BWT. Beautiful Alpine. Before they went and ruined my boy.
And say in the 2, 3, and 4, and 5 are all battling each other, so it's making it harder for them to gain any ground on Scarenzi. They're focused on defending. I've also seen these two, Chuck and Lancey, or Fireballer and Lancey, battling back and forth for quite some time.
That's wonderful mid-pack battle. We say mid-pack, they're in 8th. We don't have much pack to pull from at this point.
And just eyeballing the standings right now, it's going to be interesting after everything's said and done. But Alfa Romeo with the 2 highest drivers.
Followed by what? Alpine and then McLaren.
Oh, actually, yes. I think Alpine will get more points in that case.
Yes. Yes, they will.
But for the highest 2 drivers, yes, Alpine, then McLaren, then Aston Martin. Can't wait to see the points when they add up. Although Alpine might drop a few positions with that penalty.
Mac able to get past the Plums yet again. Again, that race, 2nd through 5th. Just such a tight grouping there. Let him race. Looks like Scarenzi will walk away with this one. 2 laps to go now.
If those tires hold on. I don't know why I said that.
Blows all 4 tires. And sake of boom. Lancey getting by Fireballer down in 8th. McLaren trying to build a gap, but Fireballer sticking close, pretty close. Clancy's now trying to get away. There he goes, running.
The Fireballer and Gunner are getting pretty close to each other. Got Palmer is hovering at a 3-second gap. He has just broken it. And now we have Fireballer and Lancey going wheel to wheel around the long sweeping corner and continuing.
All of the DQ'd drivers chiming off in paddock chat saying that was such a great first half of the race. Just slowly people getting picked off after we hit that 8-lap mark.
It takes one, right?
My screen is choppy right now.
Yeah.
It's not great, but we'll persevere. Oh!
I won't do that.
Final lap.
Got Palmer's gotten to 2.5 seconds on the final lap, though he does have the 3-second penalty. So even if he's able to overtake Scarenzi, it won't be by enough of a margin. We do still have a battle going on for the third and final spot on the podium between Mac, the Plums, and Race Day. And with 3 DRS zones left, it really could be any of them.
Yeah. We did see, I did not have enough time to comment on it earlier in the race. He DNF'd too soon. But Final Flame, the other Haas driver, was absolutely deadly on outside overtakes. So that is going to be something that I'm really looking forward to seeing as we watch these battles play out in the final lap of the race. The Final Flame was the first, I believe, to overtake Race Day here tonight, and did so on the outside without DRS assistance. So definitely some players to look out for that were DNF'd here tonight. It is not a representation of the drivers. It is a representation of the hellscape that is the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Really asks everything of these drivers. There's the checkered flag, and for the first time in Season 12, it is Scarenzi taking home the checkered flag, followed by the Plums, Mac, and Gott Palmer with a photo finish for second place. Saw a lot of squabble there right at the line.
That was at the last second, too. The Plums was able to overtake Mac in the final straight and just get across the finish line ahead. And jumping up into second with Gott Palmer's 3-second penalty, that will put him in front of Race Day, too. So he will finish 4th, Race Day 5th. Alfa Romeo with the 6-7, and then Lancey and the other McLaren finishing out in 8th.
If you recall, in qualifying, Race Day went into paddock chat and said, "Hey, Scarenzi, what a stinker of a quali, huh?" Well, Scarenzi just finally replied to that. We were waiting for it earlier. We just got it. Hey, Race Day, stinker of a race, eh? Oh, Scarenzi's back. Mr. Five-time is ready to throw hands. The Aston Martin isn't playing games. The Green Machine is back for more.
I'm excited for the rest of this season.
Yes.
We've already got some tension building. We have a lot of, I guess, yet to be seen talent. We've saw some great overtakes, some leaders who crashed out. We had, 7 cars DNF out of this race?
7, I believe, was the final count. Yeah, that was just egregious. But what more can you ask for here in Saudi Arabia? Again, shot out of a cannon here to start Season 12. It's not pretty, but we are officially into it. Our feet are wet. Let's go racing just 14 more times. We're going to take a look here after celebration at the final standings before the stewards get a handle on this cluster of an opening race. There you go, seeing the final lineups. This may be adjusted before next week's race. We will, of course, provide all of the steward findings in the pre-show during qualifying. But as the game sees it, that is our final grid order for tonight, our final checkered flag finishing order for tonight.
I will say, too, Mackie Marquis DNFing, but taking home a point for the fastest lap of the race with the only driver, it looks like, to crack into the 128s.
Yeah, he was absolutely on a tear of a race. So unfortunate for Mackie to ran into some issues, and that issue just was a big old wall. But we will see what the rest of the season brings for the Williams team. They were looking very promising. There are a couple teams, a couple partnerships out there that do look very promising, and I'm looking forward to see how they play out here later in the season. Next week, we are in Hungary for the famous Hungaroring. That one is always a crowd pleaser. It's always a fun one to call. We will be here, I believe. We are in D1 yet again for the second race of the season. So we will be back with this motley crew in Hungary. That's going to do it for tonight's action. Thank you very much for tuning in to MidWest eSports Formula One Division 1 on Nick and Mitch. Thank you very much on the Nick and Mitch YouTube channel to our YouTube members, the folks who donate a little bit of dough every month to make sure we have the awesome transitions and everything that Mitch is running from his studio out there in PA. Thank you very much to Bone Crusher 2D, Coach 34, and Mama Bell, our executive producers, along with co-producers Kill-A-Vapor and Captain Snowbeard, and Kirsten, and our fans and fans plus. If you want to become a YouTube member and support the channel with just a couple bucks every month to make sure that it stays alive and we're able to continue doing all of this and paying for our music licensing and all that good stuff, you can click join down below. And if you haven't already, please click subscribe. You can do that one for free. Get this awesome bell if you do it during the live stream, and you get to stay up to date on everything that's coming out here at Nick and Mitch. It's mostly these streams these days, but we will be dipping our toe back into Riders Republic and some extreme sports in the near future.
You might be getting an ad for Lintlock Extreme too.
We will definitely be hearing an ad for Lintlock Extreme. Thank you for watching MidWest eSports Formula One Division 1 on Nick and Mitch, sponsored this year, Season 12, sponsored by Lintlock Extreme. I'm Nick.
I'm Mitch.
And go by Lintlock Extreme. Feel the lint locking action of Lintlock Extreme.